Ooh, guys, big info dropped. Have you guys seen this? I talked about this new info. New info. You may only have one of them equipped at the time. I talked about this on a podcast, right? Like if they were gonna limit how many we use. Huh. Music off? Can take music off, yeah, sure. Okay, so there's a bow. Looks poisonous? If I had to guess. What about super exalts? I assume super exalts are Mike said that they're meant to compete with uniques, so I guess you can use super exalts. Okay, so this is how it's gonna work, right? Guys, we need to bring the paint. This is how it's gonna work. So you're gonna have one super legendary, right? One super legendary, primal legendary, one, and then ideally, instead of just having uniques fucking everywhere, right? Like we have now, what they're trying to do is you're gonna have to choose between one or the other, right? You're gonna have to choose, and I think this is really good, by the way. They're really good design, and I don't think it's necessarily a lot of power creep. I think it might be less power creep than it looks like. Because, for example, right now, if we take the example as Meteor, right? Meteor, okay, you can get a +6 Meteor, right? Yeah, but I mean, you can already have a +6 Meteor, right? Or close to it. Because you can get like a tier 7, T7 plus skills on whatever the unstable core or whatever the fuck the chest piece you're using, right? How RNG will it be? I think it's probably gonna be very RNG, just for maybe even if the system is not RNG, right? Maybe this is just like you craft it and boom, like with some sort of primal materials that you see. You still need to get a good exalted, and I mean we all know it's way easier to get legendaries than getting exalteds, because if you get a legendary, like for example, you get a tier 7 fucking a good tier 7, right? With some random shit, you slam it and you're happy, right? You're happy. Very happy. That's you guys. So let's read everything, I guess, and we can do a bit of Monka. No. New chapter. Your legend is not yet complete, traveler. On your journey to prevent the end, you must return to the beginning. Holy butterfly effect. Okay. Turns out we were the observer all along. Holy fuck. Travel the ancient era and experience the new story. I think Mike already said it's optional. So you guys let me know how good it is, I guess. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on the first few days. Maybe on the second character we do it, just to see it. Reef Beast. Be aware of nature's most perfect hunter. It will stalk its prey silently and tirelessly. Patient and ageless, preparing for the kill. Scarben Bloodhorn, which I assume is the NPC. It will stalk its prey silently and tirelessly. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Like this monster is gonna evolve. Well, maybe there's different tiers, and it doesn't evolve, but you have different tiers of monsters. So you can fight baby monster like this, or you can fight like Giga monster, like the one with wings and shit. And depending on the tier of the monster, they drop different maths. That could also be a thing. Then we have primordial uniques, ancient, magic, and wild and untamed. Those who choose to wield their powers must be steadfast in their pursuit. Steadfast means like steady, no? Steady and fast. So committed, I guess is the word. With Season 3 comes a new unique type, Primordial Uniques. These items can have more powerful effects than other uniques, but you may only have one of them equipped. Okay. So we see the Tyrannosaurus stuff. We see this looks like a shield, no? And it looks DPS-y because it has horns and shit everywhere. We see a dagger looking kind of greeny, toxic-y. Everything looks greeny, I guess. Maybe some crit dagger thingy. Steadfast and loyal. I have heard Mike said before that with the new mechanic we were gonna have to make tough choices. So I wonder if there's like different types of dinosaurs. Like, you know, there's like this guy and that guy, and maybe you have to like specialize on what you hunt or something. So you don't, you know, you kind of like have to, you know, I'm a Triceratops hunter, brother. You know, I'm looking for the shield. Maybe, who knows? Okay, we know what this is. Then there's the amulet, who doesn't appear here. So there could be even more than this, right? Then bow-looking thing. I assume maybe there's gonna be one for, ideally one for each slot, kind of, no? Like one-handed weapon, two-handed weapon. Ideally, you have one for each slot, so at least there's something there. And ideally you want more than one, because you want to create a cost opportunity, no? I think if you are playing a build and there's only one primal unique that looks appealing to you, then the limitation of having only one equipped is dog shit, right? It doesn't really have any weight. So ideally, you know, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, this gives me like Giga Tyrannosaurus, but this one gives me Giga Triceratops. Oh, which one is better? You know? When you need to puzzle off the bosses, yeah, it definitely looks like you might. I don't know. I think I was thinking that they had to do with crafting these things, but now I'm less convinced we craft them, because this is why they're special. The reason they're special is you can only have one, so they don't need to be more special than this. What needs to be more special is the uniques, the exalteds, right? So maybe all the stuff from yesterday that I showed on stream, this stuff. Maybe all of this is for the exalteds, right? And not for the uniques. Like this X stuff. Or maybe this is to summon the boss that you fight and then they drop. And these are actually to make exalteds, primal exalteds. So maybe this is to hatch the beast, and then the beast drops the uniques, and they drop material to make ancestral exalteds. Dude, I'm gonna be fucking up this name non-stop, huh? Everything is ancestral and primal. Well, I don't really mind. I don't really mind that we have to build our beast as long as I can make it well-rounded. You know, as long as my beast can be a well-rounded beast, I'll be fine. You know. Okay. Any thoughts, guys, in chat about what these items could be? This looks like a staff to me. No, 200 staff. It's minion patch, so I don't know. This is the set stuff. It's a it could. Do you think it's a wand? It looks big, and they have. I think like they have intentionally made it the same size as the bow. No, to me it looks like a staff based on the orientation of the weapon and all that. Looks like Aeon's Refuge, the fireball one. This could be a helmet. It looks like it kind of looks like a shield to me, no? Because of the. Can I make this bigger? Oh yeah. Kind of looks like a shield, no? Because of this thing. It kind of looks like it's a shield with the skull on top of it. And it definitely looks like one of these shields. Definitely looks aggressive as fuck. No, like it has horns, it has fucking teeth and shit. And again, it definitely looks like you're crafting these items. They definitely look like amalgamation of pieces, right? You have like the spikes here, and you have feathers. I would assume the Triceratops doesn't have feathers, even though that's, I think, historically accurate, because I think most dinosaurs had feathers. I think historically. And then you have like some sort of like big ass teeth. I don't think that's from a Triceratops, right? So it looks like at least there's 3 components here on most items. No, you have like these bones, this thing, and then this like whatever the fuck this is, purple thingy. Then you have these things, this plant and whatever this is, the bone thingy. Femur, bone, and binds. So you may still craft them. Who knows? Who knows? And Lich and Necromancer rework. This also brings rewards to the Lich and Necromancer. Lich also gains the ability to duel. The skills being rebalanced. I've already talked about this on the podcast, but I think minions are gonna be super strong, right? So we'll see. New Lich skill, Flay. Wait, new footage? No? This is new footage. Okay, we gotta analyze. You guys know I am the best analyzer on the planet. Can I pause this? Can I open this on like a player thingy? I guess we can record it. I can record it. Okay, Epoch. Now I have the video. Okay, let me find it. What day is today? Okay, I think I got it here. Seconds. No, that's not it. Where the video? $727.5. Okay, it's this video. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at it properly. Sorry, guys. I didn't know where my things were. Okay, so let's start slowly. Blue dashing forward still, and it looks like it creates like some sort of concentrated ground thing behind. Probably some sort of chilled ground since it's cold. And this definitely looks some sort of like a ribbon ability, no? Definitely looked like the animation was different. Bum, bum, bum. Is this ribbons 3? Ribbons Q, sorry. Yeah, but it has movement, right? And we know that it goes into target. And then this one looks like a blink. And then, yeah, I don't... How do I play this slower on W222? Can I not go frame by frame? I can, no? With arrows. Am I trolling? Well, I have no idea. So okay, I guess let's see the next. He blinks, no? He appears here. Look. You can see the what? No, those are the zombies getting frozen. Try beam on keyboard. My keyboard doesn't even have those keys, so that's gonna be interesting. Maybe. Nope. Let's see now. Oh, it doesn't like it. Okay. It definitely, and then it does like a dash. Looks like it definitely seems like a 3-thing combo. 1, 2. No, that wasn't. Some attacks are like cliffs, and then this one is up front. This one is up like an uppercut. Boom, boom. And this one is not doing that, right? This one is just doing swings. Does 2 and then uppercut. And then it doesn't have movement there. So you can disable the movement, that's good. Because there it didn't move. He's not moving here either. Okay, you can disable the movement, that's good. What else? Looks like you can make it poison also. And it has these blood orbs, coagulated orbs or whatever. They explode. Some sort of hybrid spell thingy, most likely. Yeah. And it makes 3. Does it make 3 here too? I wonder if it's based on enemy skill or enemies that you hit, or what is it based on? Oh, it did 4. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's enemies, yeah. Okay, and it looks like they created more, no? Boom. And then it creates another one. So there's a chance to echo or to re-happen or something. That looks like spell damage to me, but... And then you can convert these to cold too, and they're huge. And they do no damage. Okay. Well, you can disable the movement. That's interesting. Oh, or you can make it giga movement with like super combo. I'm kind of worried. Hey, thank you, the limonos. I'm kind of worried because I don't know if you guys are looking at this, but well, we have at least a cold conversion, and for those who are not familiar with the Ellie design, most of the time when there's a conversion, pretty much all the time, if a tree looks like this, right? This is the ability, and then you have the tree, right? And then you have some points, and then normally conversions are like never the first note. They're at least the second note, right? Or on most cases, right? I can't even think about a single case where you can just straight up change it, right? And then most of the time, if there's a conversion, like imagine this is a cold conversion, then the cold conversion have some notes attached to it, right? Like freeze rate multiplier, fucking chill chance, cold more damage, at least a couple points, right? You have a couple points that are like cold related, right? Sometimes these points are 2, sometimes there's 3, right? So you have the cold related shit, right? We'll see, yeah. Then sometimes there is a third conversion after the cold, but they stopped doing this a long time ago. Now what they've been doing is that the conversions, if there's like a poison conversion, normally it's like either next to it or like on another part of the tree, right? Another part of the tree would be like, again, here, right? You have like this, and you have the poison conversion with the poison nodes, right? I'm gonna assume it's physical by default based on the image, right? So if this is the poison conversion thingy with the poison nodes, well, actually, this is the poison conversion thingy, and this is the poison nodes. This basically means that if you don't convert to cold or poison, half of the tree is useless, right? Because you're not converting, right? So conversions are it's fine when the conversion is a trouble node into the good stuff. Like for example, if this is like a 100 multiplier, right? You're gonna, this is not a wasted point because you're, you know, you were gonna grab this anyway, plus what everything good is in here. But when the conversions are like fantasy and they don't really have a like a damage reason or whatever, a lot of the times you just like, they're completely wasted part of the tree normally. This happens a lot, right? In a lot of skills. You either take them because it's mandatory to get to the good stuff, or you never take them because converting doesn't do anything. And this is the same on like Frostclaw and things like that, right? Like you have all this like lightning cold shit, and if it's not good, you just, well, it's useless. And then we also see that there's a bunch of like there's a bunch of movement shit, right? Like disabling movement, making it movement, combo. I would assume that's at least one point, right? That changes functionality quite a bit. It could be here, it could be there, it doesn't matter, right? There's at least a point that normally these points that change functionality completely, like disabling third strike, disabling movement, these points are also never really accessible first point, right? They normally take a bit of trouble. So, like anything that is super transformative, most of the time takes like a trouble point. And then on top of that, we also have some. It could be built into the skill, but I don't think so, right? We don't see these bolts always happening, or yes. It looks like the bolts happen on every, so the bolts might just be part of the skill. Marksman is not getting anything as far as we know. I mean, we know it's getting a bow, right? Because they teased this bow, so there's a bow. But going back to this, maybe the bolts are part of the skill, because I see them on every clip. But it looks like the bolts behave differently, no? Sometimes they happen super fast. Sometimes they happen super delayed. So let's just assume there's going to be something related to the bolts, right? So let's just say there's a couple nodes related to bolts here. Some bolt nodes, right? Boom, boom. You know, they sometimes have these things. And then this makes the bolts like do more damage or whatever. Or you have more bolts, or echo chance for the bolts, or whatever the fuck. Big bolts, right? So basically what that means is we have left this part of the tree for it to hopefully be good. And if you look at the abilities that have been designed lately, what are the latest abilities that exist in last Epoch? Volatile Reversal, right? We can take a look at it. Heart Seeker. Take a look at Volatile Reversal and Heart Seeker. Let's take a look at the guide already. Void Knight. Okay. So Volatile Reversal has basically what I explained, right? The generic stuff, and then you always have the trouble node, right? That enables something special, right? This is something special, so you always have the trouble node. This is something special, so you have the trouble node, right? This is something generic. This is something special, so you have the trouble node. This is basically always the case, right? Again, this is like, well, if you're not using the Barring Orb, this is fucking useless, like snapping tool, right? So if you're not using the Barring Orb, useless, right? All of the Barring Orb bullshit. If you're not a Void Knight, you can't echo, right? I think this is the echo. Yeah. Jump forward can be good, okay, so, but this is kind of like changing functionality, right? Changing functionality. Okay, good. Then you have the node like what is it? The more damage, more area, second combo removed. So again, functionality change. I don't. Well, you just turn it into a dash, right? Okay. I don't. This is usable. Okay. This is generic. Okay. And then what? Then you have all of this. This would be balls, right? Basically, this is the equivalent of the balls. So you have the balls, and then the balls have their own thing, right? This would be the equivalent of balls. Basically this, because this is like the void balls into void balls into void balls into void balls, like all this void ball shit that is basically. I mean, this, whatever, if you're. This is if your bolt is using the balls, good. If it's not if you don't like balls, then the balls are useless, right? And then this is like conversion stuff, which of course is always far away, and then some stuff for whatever. And yeah, the tree is done, right? So I don't know. I feel like they're trying to be super cool and give us a lot of like options, but well, if the abilities don't also come with big damage nodes and shit, realistically, like they don't get used, right? Yeah, and it might be a traversal skill also. We don't know that though, Misha. It could not be. It could be like a Void Cliff. You might be able to turn it into reversal. Again, I was kind of speculating into some movement stuff in here. Like this is the movement stuff. So it looks to me like the tree is just gonna be absolutely bloated. Just looking at how they do things. Yeah. No, normally you do traversal and then you have the distance, cooldown node, charges nodes, all that shit, right? And then we have Heartseeker now. Marksman. Right? Actually, let's open it here. We have Heartseeker. Where, we want the whatever functionality node always behind the lock. You always have these nodes that are not really that great before you get into the good stuff, right? Like I said. Oh, you want to get this first, you gotta get these nodes that even if you don't care about them, right? Like whatever. Okay, then if you have a conversion, behind the conversion, normally there's like the 2 or 3 nodes, right? You have the cold thing with the cold thing, you have the fire thing with the fire thing. If you're not doing cold or fire, a fourth of the tree is useless, right? Then you have all the making the ability work, right? Which is recurve. And in this particular case, it kind of works because you're not actually doing damage with Heartseeker, it's just a buff, right? For your bow procs, right? Your unique bow, like whatever the one you're using. Or you're just using it for utility, basically. But if you want to use this ability for pure damage, it has 0 clear, blah blah blah, right? This stuff is okay for damage, and it's like hybrid damage. Like I've killed Uber with this, it's playable, but and then you have the synergies out of nowhere with again shadows and black arrows, and yeah, this tree is not, like it's basically following what I explained, right? Like you have the node, and then all the cool stuff is locked behind that node, and then that node has the extra cool shit. Like this node is very powerful, but again, just to get to that node, you have to grab this. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at the abilities they have designed lately, there's a different example of skills with conversion. I mean, old Vengeance before it had the Void, but now, for example, the new Vengeance is like that, right? If we go to Vengeance, oops. If we go to Vengeance, old Vengeance didn't have the void conversion bullshit, but now it does, right? If we take a look at Vengeance, Vengeance is like this, right? You have like the void conversion, and after the void conversion, you have the void shit. You have the fire conversion, so you have the fire shit. Then you have the Iron Blade stuff, so you have the Iron Blade shit. So if you're not doing void, Iron Blade, or fire, this is the tree you have. And oh, I'm not doing Blitz either, so. And that's why every fucking Vengeance looks exactly the same. You think Timer Javelin's gonna be the same? I think it's getting nuked, but who the fuck knows, bro? The depths are unpredictable at this point, and no city and stuff. Well, not proper city, so. And now let's. If we think about abilities that don't have this, for example, is a lot of the time is the abilities that are not fancy and that they're generic. For example, if we take a look at Erasing Strike, for example, or Erasing Strike, for example, right? It does have a bit of these problems, but not as much, right? Because Erasing Strike is like, okay, damage no matter what the fuck I'm doing, area and things that adapt to different builds because it's based on weapon type. So this could be a lot of things. Area and melee area and void rift area. Okay, this is giving me different things. Okay, I could all of this usable on any build. Okay, more damage. Okay, used on any build. More damage. Okay, used on any build. More damage. Okay, used on any build. Then you have the maximum echoes. You could use this again on any build, right? You could have a conversion of this, or you could have like, and again, this doesn't have a conversion, so we actually have a proper tree, because conversions, like I said, they're normally bad for the skill, right? Unless the conversion is like, has something giga busted after it, and then it's mandatory, so it's not really a conversion, right? Because it overrides the other stuff. Then you have the Time Rod stuff with the Time Rod duration, which is good for Time Rod builds and hit builds, because you get the hit damage. So this would be, if you made a Erasing Strike Time Rod, which is also a pretty good build, you just don't take this. Or you might take it just for the converting bleed, but it's still good, you know, the tree. Then the Void Shred, again, I think it's pretty useless because you can get it somewhere else, but it would work on any build, would benefit from this. And then, hey, if you're doing damage over time, there's this one node that doesn't work on the rest of the build, the same way as the crit, right? If you're doing crit, okay, you have these things that it's only for crit, and you have this thing that is only for dots. The rest of the tree, you know, you have some support shit, you know, okay. Then you have like void beams for procs or whatever, you know, whatever. A bit of fantasy nodes, useless nodes that they always have. But the entire tree is good, you know. And then you have the conversions in a row that I mentioned. That scenario sometimes exists. But Chaos Bolt is a very different ability because Chaos Bolt does partial conversions. It doesn't do full conversions. So Chaos Bolt is an anomaly, which I think is pretty well done. Same with Catonic Fissure. They're pretty well done. But I mean, Chaos Bolts has the same problem, honestly. You know, Chaos Bolts, you have one side of the tree, the other side of the tree, they have zero, and the tree has zero synergy between each other. But at least you can mix and match the conversions, and the stuff after the conversions tends to be good. You have the physical conversion before the mana cost, which is really good for the poison build we've been playing lately. You have the more double damage and chill chance on the cold conversion, which is really good. Like, you know, you have good stuff on there, but nothing super major. And again, that ability has a lot of conversions because it has the physical conversion here, it has a fucking fire conversion there, it has like cold conversion there. It has a lot of conversions, which eat a lot of the tree. And then you have all the hit stuff here, all the dot stuff, all the minion stuff here that basically they're never taken at the same time. So overall, just looking at this clip, it's probably gonna be utility if I had to guess. Like I could see this ability replacing harvest, replacing transplant if you play harvest, basically. It looks like, and again, if you look at the ability, it looks like when you cast it, you cast these orbs. So if you're playing Death Seal or you're playing Stygian Coil or whatever the fuck, It might be you might want to be using this over transplant and just use it as your as a tool to engage, with that seal or playing a bit something a bit more aggressive. And you actually it wouldn't matter if it's locked into target because you still have Reap, right, on Reaper form. But it definitely doesn't look like it's going to be a main damage dealer, but just by looking at animation and procs and hybrid damage and conversions, definitely doesn't look like a damage ability. But I could be wrong, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Okay, let's keep going. Oh shit. Offline cosmetics. I mean, that's good news, no, I guess. Everything that we get is good. Beneath Ancient Skies brings expanded cosmetic freedom. Freedom! Korean freedom. Offline cosmetics. You can now use cosmetics purchased in the game and store in offline mode. Additionally, you can now customize your monolith exit just like your town portal. That's good. You can also equip 2 of the same cosmetic like pets. Oh, that's good. Okay. Without needing to obtain them twice. Cool. No re-rolling changes? I think we're getting re-rolling changes. No? Well, they said there's quality of life for factions coming, so hopefully. We'll see. Merchants Guild thing. Guys, this is the pay to win currencies, so you can actually pay to, instead of fixing pay to win, or we're adding pay to win into the game, right? Boom. So this one is 10 euros, this one is 100 euros. Boom. Craft, they're e-bucks, L-bucks. Hey, Crafton, if you're hearing this and you use that name, I want my percentage, okay? Marketing genius. Jokes aside, I think they're supposed to be tokens, so if you're out of favor or you have to make purchases and you don't want to spend your favor, you can just use that. I assume this is going to be for easy shit and this is going to be for hard shit. Maybe these ones are for hardcore and these ones are for... Maybe there's different tokens for hardcore and softcore. I mean... doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess it makes sense. It just shows it, even though it could be, no? It has a skull. I don't know. What the fuck am I saying? Quality of lives update. It wouldn't be a last Epoch update without some quality of life improvements. This time we have enhanced Minion AI. Really? Okay, they have enhanced Minion AI. Sure, I believe it when I see it. I can't wait to see my golem breakdance, following enemies. Rebalance plenty of minions and rework several minion skill trees, including updates to Abomination, Skeletons, and Beastmaster, Raptors, Scorpion, Sabertooth, and Bear. Cool. And that's it. We've seen this before. Ooh. Yeah, I feel the same, MML. The last time that they enhanced the AI, I didn't feel anything. So yeah, well, I guess this is a pretty good info, pretty good analysis, I think. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you on the next one.